G4 Studios, Scotland. All into it's time for the third podcast.
We're done. This is as far as I go.
Well, that was a good start to the podcast.
Mate. There's this mad shit coming out of Ukraine, mate, and it like.
I've been quite ignorant towards it, to be honest. It just depresses me, man.
My son watches it, and I'm like, listen, buddy, this isn't cool, eh? Like, there's no part of this good.
But then it's the current kids have been exposed to this for a long time.
Oh, years.
And it's not just like through watching that kind of stuff, but it's through like Call of Duty.
100%.
So it's just normal to them. Aye.
100%.
That's the word, desensitized.
Who's the bad guy? He plays Rainbow Six Siege. Who's the good guys and who's the bad guys? Good guys are the Americans, bad guys are the Russians.
I'd sent you something the other day about good guys and bad guys.
Aye.
Like, depending who you ask about World War II, depends on the
Yeah,
version
that was
of
really
events you
good,
tell.
aye. It was really good. The French history about, because they make out like the French resistance fucking helped the Allies sweep through to victory, and that's not really very true. I didn't think. I
The
don't
Germans is a bit... there was bad
know.
people...
The Germans is patchy, eh?
Monster?
Oh, I'd love one. Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
if there's anything there. That Gulag Archipelago I'm listening to is just mental, eh?
Drink into that.
What's
Aye,
that?
slide that in,
Is that, that a health one?
Aye, a wee
Oh,
knuckle.
Noko. Oh, thank you. Mashallah, brother.
I have to admit that Hingy one's deadly.
What one? This.
The old Louis,
Have that
Louis
if you
Hamilton.
want
No. I'll take it.
I like that. I like that peach one the other day.
I'll never forget the day the one you brought in. It was like C4, and it had
Aye.
beta-alanine in it, and my whole body was tingling. Like,
See, when I go to my local shop, that's always sold out. Whenever they get it, it's like they all get bought.
maybe
Everybody
just the
loves
kids
that
don't
one.
realise what it is. It's in it. They're like, oh, this gives you a good buzz, man.
Did I tell you about my son coming in with a monster? And I was like,
He's-
he showed the boy the picture of me when I'm in the shop. That's for my dad.
See if I was a guy in the shop, and maybe your son kind of went, so him, I'd be like, I don't want to deal with your shit, so I'm going to
can't be arsed with this
You want
fucking
a
idiot.
tenner for behind the till as well?
Mate, I goes into the BP the other night, gets a bit of diesel. It's like before work, so it's like 9 o'clock at night. And I had some scratch cards. Like, I love a scratch card, eh? All right, buddy, I cashed these scratch cards. He went, the machine's just gone off. I went, why did you say that, mate? And he was like, what? I was like, just say you didn't want to do it. I'm like, didn't he make up you've just turned the machine off? I'm like, what a load of shit. And then I was just like, what you did? Stop, mate. Stop.
try to pick fights.
Like the guy, maybe it did. I don't know. But my exact words were, I was like, come on, it's no fucking McDonald's. The machine's not broke down, mate. Stop it.
People must see you and be like, oh,
Mate, I'm beginning to think it's me. So I'll tell you about, I'm sitting on the bike this morning, cycling away, minding my own business. And this guy's just like, at the side of me, just deadpan looking at me. And I was like, oh, fucking, here we go. All right. It's like, all right.
older gentleman,
Our age. I would have said our age. Maybe a wee bit older than us.
young guy.
He was like, aye, handsome cunt. He was all right. All right, aye. He went, well, I kick a medicine ball, but just about, honestly, just about fell right off the seat. I was like, that was, see, just 7 o'clock in the morning, that type of delivery, fucking exceptional. I've so much time for that, just, do you know what I mean? Timing it was excellent, but aye, that clips went well.
Aye, it has. It's done all right, hasn't it?
You're actually getting a fair bit of support on it.
Of course.
So the people are sick of gimping about.
They are. Yeah. Mate, it's the girls. I tell you what though, I'm in there the other day and this lassie jumped up on the bar, wide grip, and banged out 10 wide grip proper pull-ups. She was like a tiny wee thing, like 5'5", inappropriate shorts for sure, but still bump. But I was like,
Videoed.
she never videoed it.
No,
Nah,
I've
she
seen
just
it.
done her fucking pull-ups, got the fuck out. No like me, who's turned into one of these cunts
Yeah,
now.
I seen that. I seen you make a
Mate,
video.
that's me. I'm going to start doing it every day now.
Pull your pants up. Your
Aye.
back.
What's the brand? Do you wear Gymshark? Is that the one? Don't know.
Don't know. Guess
Don't
it's
know.
in. Aye.
Gymshark.
Wear the old tap out stuff.
Aye.
You look like somebody that would wear that.
Polish.
Aye. A pair of Crocs and a tap out
Start
vest.
calling myself Marriott. Mate, I'd love to wear Crocs down to JD.
Are you
Crocs,
allowed
I think you're allowed. Mate, I see people going about with no shoes on at all in there.
I do a bit of no shoe when I'm.
In your
Like-
personal gym though. Aye, in your own house. That's
Did you
good.
see the comment that just said Paul Craig needs to get rid of this guy if he wants to go anywhere?
Someone said that. It's not wrong. I agree.
Did you block that guy?
No, I just allow everything.
No, mate, didn't he block in it? I
We
didn't.
delete nothing.
We allow everything.
I'm
If you-
fully. I didn't block anyone. I didn't ignore anyone.
And how's the guys on Patreon been? The Discord.
The Discord's good. It's always taken away. They've got a wee community in there.
I didn't go in enough. I do try and pop in.
Well,
and like, all right.
I totally come out because our previous Discord, where there was a few warmers in it who just,
We did have a few people who kind of took over their life a bit, eh?
dicks is the word you're looking for.
Aye.
Speaking of Discord, there's a wee card there next to you,
Yes.
Paul. Me and Greg hopped on the Discord yesterday and just done a wee impromptu giveaway for the Patreons.
Who won it?
It was Liam Christie.
So Liam Christie, you've got yourself a signed 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗛𝗛𝗧, one of how many?
Not sure.
Oh,
Autographed anyway.
so many, we don't know. Well, that's pretty
Still
cool.
chill, son.
I know. You imagine getting anything for free
For chill,
for
son.
just being part of the Discord.
Nice.
So, brilliant. So it
if-
makes sense. If you want to be part of the Discord, it's £5 if you want to keep it low, but if you want to keep it high and have access to everything, then it's £10 a month. And when you think about it, how much you spend in coffee,
Mate,
like it's
go
easily...
to your local shop. See if you just went into like your local shop with the kids. How much are you spending?
So keep
there.
it low. You get 2 bonus episodes, and keep it high. You get 4.
4. And that's not including all the extra stuff.
No, it's not
either,
including
like,
everything else. Eh?
And I occasionally
loads.
come in and talk to you when I'm bored at my work and that.
There's loads of stuff that we just put the giveaways to one side, but it's all about the extra content that we're putting out, the extra videos, the following us behind the scenes, doing a weight cut, all this kind of stuff which normal people won't get access to.
And there's people like legitimately made friends. I know that sounds...
But it's like-minded people in it.
Aye.
All stuck together. That's a big list you've got there.
Just while we're on the topic of giveaways in the Discord and stuff, you do have some other prizes next to you.
Oh, next
so
to me.
we'll just get some housekeeping out the way and announce all the winners for them.
Housekeeping.
The open Elliot sign gloves go to.
So there's a public winner on YouTube who left a comment, follows us, follows Oban. That is Craig Goodwillie. So,
He went with the flying knee.
and we also, all the paid Patreon members, they were automatically put into a random number generator. And the winner of that one was Cougar McDougall.
Cougar McDougall.
That's a fucking name.
He should win just purely for that name.
I bet he smokes cigars. And he's got like a team of guys behind him who like ride around in a van.
And a massive hog.
Aye.
Good
Call
for
me
him.
Cougar.
Both those guys have got a Oban Elliott signed glove coming
So
their way.
both of you have got an Obanelli glove signed coming your way. If you haven't already, then drop the guys at the Leathered a message either on the Instagram or Facebook.
Unreal prize.
We'll get it sent to you, and that goes the same for yourself with the 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗛𝗛𝗧 card. So, what else we got here?
There
Excellent.
is one more. There is
There's a cup as well.
the UFC 309 Cup. The
Which they
winner,
ran out of.
the winner of that is Scott Kirkwood. So we will get that sent out as
Same
well.
again, Scott, hit us up. We'll send you this. This is from Madison Square Garden. As Ross said, they sold out.
Aye.
And you can only get them there. So, man, the gifts.
It was-
The
I've
gifts are
got
good.
Scott's address, so I can send that. That's all good.
Oh,
Very good.
lovely. Great.
So there you go. That's 4 gifts
An Oban
within
Elliott
the
signed
last
glove.
month. Hey?
I won't make
nice.
many of them in Scotland, the cups. Maybe just Grant and my brother-in-law that I got one.
Aye,
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Very. Very. Probably a couple doing in Wales, like the Welsh guys look like they drunk a few cups.
Well, I told you,
I wanna get carved out.
I told you I was in getting stitches, and a Welsh boy was.
Getting helped.
Aye, he was covered in blood.
We've all been there.
I know. He's just having a good night.
Boys will be boys. His mate's gone out and done the business. He's really not there to see any kind of... It doesn't give a fuck about John Jones, mate. He's there to see Oban Elliott.
I seen
podcast.
that the Welsh gangster said he's not going to be fighting in London.
Oh,
I'm also not fighting in London, so that works.
I think
well for
you'd
us.
kind of alluded to that already, eh?
Aye, so we're looking to go down to London and do a little bit of media. Failing that, it's going to be a live podcast, but it's looking like we're going to go down and do some actual media stuff as actual
It's wild,
MMA
eh?
media guys.
Do you think do you have to ask like it's the schmo, the type of questions like, oh, how's it the weight cut been? And I just didn't. I don't know. I feel like the questions are no us.
Nah, they're certainly not.
We have to. Like,
Hey,
Do their own thing.
we're cutting our teeth. We're just learning the ways of how to be podcasters, interviewers.
what a segue you made there, because I was going to mention something. So I posted a big thing about all our leather doping mats
I've seen them.
yesterday, and our keen-eyed will have noticed. Well, I actually missed 2, but one was Stevie Ray because our picture game wasn't on form that day. But the one I get asked the most about, and this might surprise people, is Mark Ewan. Like, if I do a Q&A on Instagram, Discord, anything, it's always Mark Ewan. And what I always mind about that podcast is it was in the gym, similar to what we did with Oban. You can hear the round timer going off in the back, people are hitting pads. And there's something about that type of podcast that's got this kind of like, it's cool doing podcasts in here, I love being in here, right? But see when you're actually in the gym, sitting against the cage, and you're and I always remember Mark saying, I wasn't sure how to be with you because you're kind of like funny guys, and I didn't really see myself like that. And I remember thinking like, this is such a fucking, I didn't really even know what I'm trying to say. It was just such a mad offshoot, really, eh? I never saw it going this way, and I just kind of, I never left him out on purpose, but I kind of did because I wanted to make a point of his specifically. That was probably the first one we did where I was really like, fucking, there's young guys out here, quite a good, I mean, what we talking, he's 10 years younger than us, fucking cracked it already. And they're all getting together, they're sharing these ideas, and it was just quite an eye-opening one, and I'm glad I got asked about that one so much. I think for me, looking back on the open mats, it's easy to pick like Dan Hardy or Oban, but that probably was the most eye-opening one. The most like, because after him, you started to see the repeated patterns, but he was the first one to go, look, I do get this, and I do get stressed about this, and I do think about this, and I do sometimes having a daughter now, maybe it has made me a wee bit softer. And these ideas were maybe a bit new to us at that time. And then, so it probably took quite a lot for him to go first and openly say these things.
Yep. What was he, your second one?
I think he was the second.
Stevie Ray and Mark. It'd be good to get him back on. And it'd be good to revisit some of these guys, because we've got Sean, who's
setting up for a big 25.
Setting up for a big 25.
For sure.
Could potentially be headlining Glasgow.
I mean, hard naughty.
So it'd be good to get him back on. It'd be good to see Mark again after his win in Glasgow and PFL and see where he's going. And another few guys to see what's happening with like Stevie Ray, because I don't think his game's over.
No. I see him grappling heavy. Then a lot of grappling. Then all these guys, like, when you actually say, right, so it's probably going to be the same for yourself. When you actually go, do you know what? That's me. I've had enough. I'm not going to go out there again. Are you really though?
I know it's hard.
Are you really not going to go out there again? Like, are you really just going to voluntarily give that up?
It's hard to...
Probably no. Probably no, mate.
Come that day, it's going to be very difficult to walk away from this.
Do you know what might almost be
in
better?
its entirety.
Being forced to give it up. Like I've no choice. Like,
I've just lost a leg.
Or an eye or something. Probably easier. See, with Michael Bisping, them going to him, mate, your eye is fucked. You can't go out there again. At least the decision's made for it. Does that make sense? Like, I've probably worded that badly.
But then,
he'd have kept going out there if he could have kept getting away with it.
If he could, he would have kept getting away with it. But there's other organisations out there who probably don't have the same levels of health.
I know exactly what you're about to say.
I just sort of on that topic.
Tony Ferguson.
Just as a wee side note, apparently the GFL are talking to Tony Ferguson.
Are they?
And I'm going to make him fight Kevin Lee, mate.
So see with regards to this, the GFL, do you think they've got the money?
I don't know. I don't know.
For them to sign all these people and promising them big purses, because they guys are coming out of retirement, they're all going to have to get a big payday. Do you think they've got the money?
I've been seeing stuff where they're like apparently like dishing out like $1 million contracts.
Yep.
But then there's people saying that, like, keep in mind like the roster's huge, but there's only 4 teams, and if you're not like drafted into one of those teams, then you're not getting paid.
Yep.
So I'm not saying they're going to rig the draft so that the cunts that are on $1 million contracts don't get in a team, so they don't need to pay them. And it's just a good headline being like, we're paying these guys $1 million, and it's just people on shit contracts.
Jiggery pokery.
Aye. I don't know. That is just obviously speculation, but
it would make more sense that to happen than having Vanderlei Silva do a run it.
It's more believable, eh?
Aye. I seen they've got Cain Velasquez as one of the coaches, or one of the mentors kind of thing.
aye.
Just going to take a wage as well. And like, here's what I'm saying. Are they just collecting all these guys so they've got something, they've got
A poster.
And be like, listen, would you like to invest in our fucking show?
Aye.
Would you like to be part of the GFL?
Because it looks great.
Because I'm kind of down with it, because I think that I've said it for a long time, there needs to be more than one MMA organisation with all the money. Because if there's just one, then they're just going to bully everybody and it's going to be their way or the highway. So I think you need the PFL, you needed Bellator, you need these shows like the GFL, but
how do they hang? Yeah,
I know. And then it comes down to like nobody, there's no young kid in our gym now going, I can't wait, I'm going to sign for the GFL.
No.
I'm working my ass off to get to the GFL. Everybody's like, I'm trying to get to the UFC.
And in reality, the guys who are signed to like PFL, they're looking at him jump out. They're not going to say no. They're not going to turn around and go, do you know what? My contract at PFL is great. I'm going to stay here. Not going to do that.
There's very few folk have done that. I think one of them was Michael Venom Page.
Oh, aye.
Remember? He was like, no.
Aye.
He turned down a few contracts the same way. What's his name as well?
McKee. I think he did a similar thing. He said he was like, no, I'm okay being paid enough here. It's fine.
I guess there's that, like, you know what? I'm getting a good wage. And I'm getting looked
Depends
after.
where your priorities are, eh?
I'm getting looked after.
You've maybe got small kids. You've maybe, just where are you? Like, where are you in life? It's circumstantial, I think, for some people.
But imagine getting to fight jobbies or cans and getting a good wage.
Getting weighed in.
I'd be doing that.
I'm with you.
So all those Bellator guys now, like AJ McKee, Pitbull, they're all winning out. Aye. So what basically happened was before PFL bought Bellator, I don't know if it was Scott Coker or whoever's in charge at Bellator, gave all them new contracts.
Because Pitbull was wanting out, eh?
So they gave them all new contracts. It was all this load of money. And then PFL were kind of tied into them. PFL obviously didn't want to pay it, so PFL aren't giving them fights. So now they're wanting out. And
they've wasted like months of their contract.
And I think Pitbull has specifically said he wants into the UFC now.
He asked released as well. He was like, I'm wanting released. There's other organisations out there. I'm not getting to fight. I'm not getting offered fights. Let me go.
PFL and that will be like, we don't really want to let you go because you'll be going to the opposition.
Right. But here's the other thing. So say they go across, right? They go across the UFC and the UFC put them in with a guy who just wastes them. Then you're like, your organisation's pish. This was your guy over at the organisation and he's getting fucking spangled over here.
Well, I think when you think about Michael Chandler, who was a guy in Bellator and he's came over, he's definitely held his own.
Great fights.
The same way MVP came over, holding his own.
Aye. He's shot a bullet shortly, actually. Is it no soon? Have I invented
February?
that?
Aye, February.
Got to get that pre-Ramadan
fighting
Saudi card in. Good, mate. I'm all over it.
Speaking of that card, we might be
going to Saudi. Not in this lifetime,
not
bro.
far.
We would be looking at doing some sort of watch along.
Come back to one
potentially.
A live watch along with Leathered. We've got another few things in the pipeline. We were thinking about inviting another guest in, but as it sits right now,
bring Gary Thompson, mate.
Gary Thompson's hilarious.
He's the best, honestly. But he's up there with my like top 5 favourite humans, eh? He's the best cunt ever.
Gary Thompson and a bag of mushrooms.
Yeah,
Perfect watch along.
Have you ever seen the thing where it's Mike Tyson takes hero doses of mushrooms?
Oh, mate, he sweats so much though.
Gary Thompson laughs in the face of that. You're taking baby steps here, Tyson.
I see Islam Makhachev like starting to really put out a lot of social media content now. It's the first time I've really noticed it. Nah, you don't think so?
Why?
It's all this zero grappling, bruh. You know, the meme him over and over, but like Demetrius Johnson going to the gym and Khabib was coaching and they're like, oh, where did you get this black belt, Demetrius? Like, oh, do you still play PUBG? Like they're taking the piss at him for gaming and that. But, and they're putting him in with these like gold medalist fucking Russian wrestlers and that. And they're massive and DJ's taking them down. He's doing good. There's some great clips, like, but it's good to see a more human side of them because normally they are kind of that straight-faced.
Robotic.
Aye, like just Jim Allah. There's no like human side to them. I didn't mean that's because that's all they talk about, mate. They talk about their faith and going to the gym, and you didn't like culturally for us that's not relatable. So it's nice to see that.
You can also probably say that's maybe why they are as good as they are because they are so disciplined.
Happy New Year from the guys at Anaconda. And I know what you're thinking, Paul, you've always got a deal for us at Anaconda, and this January is no different. There is no excuse for you not to train when you've got Anaconda on your doorstep. Ross, what deals have they got currently?
We've got the New Year's sale up to 50% off across products. You can also put in Leathered 10 at the checkout for an extra 10% off. That one's on us.
Listen, it just makes sense. If you are suffering from any sort of injury, you need a little bit of support, you just want a little bit of confidence, Anaconda's got your back. I've been saying this for the last couple of years. If you've not got an Anaconda knee brace and you're suffering from knee injury, that's on you. So why don't you check them out and start this new year in the right foot? All you have to do is wrestle and pray to Allah.
Just wrestle and fucking speak to Allah and you'll win gold, bruh. And that's it. He's like, oh, do you have a black belt Islam? And he's like, no, just gold belt. And I was just like, you cheeky bastard. But it's good to see. I'm into it. It was even, I started watching 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗛𝗘𝗥'𝗗's YouTube channel. Mate, it's good. The stuff's good. And again, you see more of like a human side to him. He's out jogging in Las Vegas and going about with Darren Till and that. You're like, he's fucking quite funny. I think a lot more guys should do that. We should see the reality. Like, they are just normal guys.
Is that why the Ultimate Fighter works so well?
Maybe.
Because you get to see a little bit of these people.
I think as well, you get to see them under pressure a lot. Like, it can't, mate. I wouldn't want to be 6 months in here. We just use. No get to see my missus, no get to see my kids. Can he phone them? Can he text them? Like, sooner or later, somebody's going to fucking drink your can of Monster and there's going to be a problem, eh? Like, and that's what you're watching it for. You're like, right, who's going to fucking chin some cunt in the kitchen here? And that's what I think's good. You think you could hack it in the Ultimate Fighter house? 6 weeks?
I think it's good.
Think so?
Aye. I'm quite an easygoing guy. Tell him no easy.
I don't know. I don't know.
See when you
Like,
start cutting that weight.
my fucking favourite one ever.
I guess.
The dishwasher. The dishwasher. No. I know you were going to think the Choi bar, but see with the dishwasher, you came through when we went to fucking Airbnb and there's dishes everywhere. And I can't mind what you'd been eating or if you'd had like a hydration drink or something. And you just walked through and you went, all going to need to do something about this. See, just the way I was like, yeah, I can't. Everybody's fucking getting the dishes piled in.
I get a bit touchy.
Oh, it was just the way you like looked at it, and it was just pure disgust on your face. Like,
I'm still the same in the house.
You need to do something about this.
See when these wee pellets in the house just open up the door and just put it in. Like, pull the drawer out,
mate.
Like, it's stackable. It's designed to take a full load. It'll take every.
Sean's just fucking biting stuff on top of it.
Sean was an eye opener. Like, to be in your 20s, and I get it. I was once a 20-year-old man.
Aye.
He's getting the like concept of like day and end. Like, mate, just wash your dish and put it away.
Aye. Or it's the
burn pots, man. See a dirty pot.
Sean, we're leaving in 5 minutes. Aye. Aye, get ready, mate. Aye. Like, just just like, we're going to leave in 5 minutes. Aye, it's cool. Fucking starts eating some chicken in that. What?
Yeah,
are we leaving or no?
It takes ages to do everything. I'm like, fucking move.
So, like, I say this one to my kids all the time. I'll go, are you ready? So, like, school, are you ready? Yep. What % ready? Because it best be 100%. Or you're no ready. And by 100%, I mean shoes on, jacket on, hat on, fucking water bottle filled up. Then you have me doing any of this shit or you'll go without them.
I had a meltdown Monday morning.
First day back?
First day back. I was doing the school run. We jumped in the car was being scraped. Daughter's already crying because she thinks she's going to be late. This is at 8:30. The school is 10 minutes away at the absolute maximum of deadly traffic. I'm talking like wall-to-wall traffic, but she hates being late. And I get it. I don't like being late. So this is 8:30. And I'm like, she's 10. And I'm like, this is a lesson I'm teaching her. And I felt shitty for doing it. And I was like, just jumped in, started whinging. She said, Dad, you're not scraping the window? And I said, no. She's like, we're going to be late. And I says, well, you're already upset. So I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, you've already decided we're going to be late. So I was like, there's no much point. So I'll just chill. And then just let it. And then just going, then I felt horrible. She's like, I'm sorry. Can you scrape the car?
Easy.
And I says, aye. I was like, but have I ever made you late? And she's like, no. I went, have you ever been late for school? No. And I was like, so why would I start right now? 2 seconds to scrape the car, and away we went, and she was still early. And I was like, so you got upset for nothing? So I waited till she come back home, and I was like, you got upset for nothing this morning? I know. And I was like, did you learn your lesson? She was like, yes. Like, did she fuck?
Trust in dad.
This morning, it was the same situation.
Fucking cold this morning.
She's like, Dad, you ready? And I'm like, I am ready. Let's go.
My Crocs on.
Right.
I never de-iced the car the other day, and I drove Lewis up to school because the weather was shitty. I was like, tell your bud to be at the house for fucking 8:15. I'll drive his both up.
Do you take him?
I just drive his pal up as well because I like them all to walk together. So I'm not going to make one walk as well. So I've no scraped the side window, so I just opened the door and looked out, and my son's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I need to see if anything's coming. I couldn't even get the windy down, it was frozen shut. So I probably shouldn't have done that. But
and if you have been involved in an accident that is not your fault, then G4 Claims is a place to go. Obviously, there's a lot of people driving about due to the ice, the covering the cars have not scraped it properly, and if they happen to smash into the side of you, then it's not your fault. Then hit up G4 Claims and they will make sure you are entitled to a courtesy car. They'll make sure you're entitled to 100% of your claim. Ross, where can you hit these people up at?
01698 767 0172 or notatfaultclaim.com. You can also get them on WhatsApp if you don't want to talk to the girls.
Also, if you've been involved in an accident and you're in a bus or a taxi and you're a passenger, you can also get a claim. Thank God it's January. Thank God the snow is there. And thank God that G4 Claim is there for you.
I crashed my car once, no defrosting the window. I'd only defrosted like a tiny wee bit, and I was driving along looking at it, and I hit a lamppost, mate. Full up, boom. I had a Mitsubishi fucking Lancer back when I was like 22, and just whole front of it.
It's good that you learned your lesson, but you stayed your car now.
Still doing it. 15 years later. But I honestly, I had like, there was just like that tiny little bit, and when you're like leaning forward, driving, trying to look at it, fucking boom, smashed the whole front of the car.
You've got this like sort of stuff you put on the windows at night. So you spray it on the windows at night, and
Is it Ice Devil or something it's called?
Aye.
My
Does it
dad's
work?
known about this. No, that's a pure da thing.
Aye, like I'm a pure dad, right? So
Put
I'm
it on,
like,
it's a layer. It puts a layer on the windscreen, son.
aye, that's what happens. And still had to escape my motor every morning.
Do you?
Doesn't work.
I just put the hot water on it. Fuck it.
Just bust the window.
No, you don't make it that hot that it's going to burst the window. But
I've seen
do
somebody.
you know
with a bag.
anybody that's ever burst their window using hot water?
I don't. Is
Is that an old wives' tale?
I don't know, because obviously it does expand with hot water. But as I said, you don't use it. You don't use boiling water. Just a bit warm, just to take the
I've
ice
seen
off
somebody putting the boiling water into a bag.
Oh,
Mhm.
the
Rubbing
free,
it on
the
the
like
ground.
Ziploc
it.
bags.
If you
aye.
do break your windscreen, it's not my fault. So
Aye.
come
Don't
I've
hit
got a
G4
fucking
Claims up for
chip
the
in
window.
mine. You do windscreens?
If somebody's smashed into you and fucked your windscreen, aye.
Nah, somebody chucked a stain at my car.
No,
And you let it
claim
happen?
against him.
Just a wee guy off a bridge where I live.
He's not getting insurance. You can claim off.
He was like 9.
You just need to go and batter his dad off. So
Mad
that's what
autism
you do.
face. Just chucking things off a fucking bridge at cars. So, what else is happening anyway, Big Craig?
Well, we have got
Old
UFC
girlfriend
is
of
back.
yours,
we've got the UFC.
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie Dern.
Paul's told you
What
a few
about that
times
footy?
now. Oh, so good.
So I
You
was
need,
telling.
you need to bring it up, Craig.
Have you got it
Are
there?
you able to clip it in?
We'll clip it in,
Beauty.
but it's
I get trolled all the time.
The tongue
with this.
out is tremendous.
But that's the thing. See, it looks like me.
Is it AI?
Aye.
Is it an AI generated
Aye,
pic?
it's not me.
It does look just like. Whoa, careful. There, top.
No.
It has nailed your pre-transplant hairline,
I
hasn't
know. I said the exact same thing. I was like, apart from the like gimpy legs, looks like I'm fucking.
I've just
Lieutenant-
noticed that,
Look
yeah.
like I'm Lieutenant Dan.
Joe Swanson at Family Guy.
The great t-shirt and everything.
So I've
Let's
been,
go.
I've been messing about with that grok, and it says that it's legally not allowed to like just copy someone. So you can't put in a picture of Paul Craig and say, "Give me 10 images of Paul Craig." It must just scour the internet, and there must be like a way they get around about it.
Is
Just
it
be like a resemblance.
Grok is X's AI system,
It's
isn't
like
it?
ChatGPT, but their version, and the image creation is mental.
And not it does all ChatGPT have image creation?
It does, but ChatGPT's nowhere near this.
No.
Why is
In terms
Elon?
of imaging, well, for me personally, I don't think it is.
Why is Elon now censoring? Thought he was the free speech guy. Wants everyone to start being kinder to each other. So the algorithm's going to push down negative threads. Don't
And then
phone
Facebook's
me.
went the opposite way.
Has it really?
They're pushing negative threats to the top.
Zuckerberg has said, because I said to you, and it was the opposite of what I said to you yesterday, Craig. So Zuckerberg has put he's taking away all his team that monitor stuff on Facebook, and he's just doing volunteers like the community notes, like X.
All right, so
he's just depending
if
on.
you think it's an issue, you highlight it.
Then
But
you
if there's
highlight
pure Nancy behaviour and stuff like that, though, is that still going to flag? Aye.
Well, not. Well, they've no. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But he's doing away with it, like the whole team that deal with false information, pretty much. And he's now going to. It's gonna be volunteers on the community notes. So it's going to. They kind of want to go back to the roots of free speech.
When it was a pure cesspool.
But they're saying that it could be like links to Donald Trump because he's donated like £1 million into Donald Trump's inauguration and all that. So.
Oh well, he sits fucking beside him.
So went for dinner with him on New Year's Eve as well.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. Zuckerberg.
It's a crazy world we live in at the moment.
So Zuckerberg went out with Trump.
He was at dinner with him.
Aye.
I told you I watched Social Network.
Aye, class. Yeah.
Tremendous film.
I've not watched that.
Ever?
Never.
This is probably my top 10 films.
Really?
Easy in the top 10. It's a cracker of a film.
I've gave up on Lost.
Right, what,
Buck wild.
what bit
mate.
did you go up to?
Like the bit where they hung him for the tree and then they fucking pulled him down and banged him on the chest and brought him back to life and that. And I was like, mate, the guy was dead, eh?
Aye.
I'm out.
Aye. You're not missing much, don't worry.
I have fucking 10 mile to cycle. Sit on the bike.
He actually mentioned my dog lost it the other day. He's just patched it as well. He's like, I can't deal with it. Said it's too random.
My
It's
miss-
alright,
aye.
the very last episode of season 1, you're like, what the fuck?
My missus was like 24 episodes in season 1. She's like, how are we going to... And there's 6 seasons. What are we doing here?
Aye,
So aye,
don't-
Social Network.
Don't waste your time. Social
Banging.
Network, brilliant film.
Aye.
I also finished my Ready Player One book.
You like it?
So fucking good. Like, we're currently living it.
When
I
was
love
that
it.
written?
I'm not
Is
sure.
it, I feel like it's a bit older.
But it's,
It's not far away.
aye. Like, I believe we're probably right in the cusp of this.
2011.
Oh, it's not as old as I thought. But
When
still.
was the film out? 2015?
You forget, 2011 was still 14 years
2018.
ago. Still quite a while, but...
So I'm going to watch the film tonight. It's been a while since I've watched the film.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's who plays Ogden? Oh, brilliant. I had no idea.
I'm maybe get a watch as well. See how
Listen,
close
the
it
book
is.
is fun. There's loads of wee like nostalgia, Easter egg kind of things, games they talk about.
Mm-hmm.
There's loads of these challenges. They talk about a lot of films. It's set like, it's obviously set in the future, but it's the whole guy, Halliday, he's made a challenge to win the Oasis, which is basically metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
So you could win that because he's dead and somebody has to take over the mantle. So everybody's trying to get it because they want to use it to make money. But currently it's free, and the only thing you can make money off is by buying upgrades. Pretty much what our kids are doing right now. They go into Roblox, they go into Minecraft, they go into all these different games like
Aye.
Fortnite.
FIFA as well. FIFA's still
FIFA.
about. I was listening to a thing the day about they were saying game because I actually drove past the Rockstar North building in Edinburgh. It's fucking massive, right down by Holyrood. Huge building. Everybody like going in there like dressed like hippies, eh? And there was
One
a
of the guys for the gym.
works there. Aye.
Older guy. Probably seen him, he's a black belt. Takes the gi class sometimes.
Aye. I know that.
He
Aye.
works for Rockstar.
Aye, that would be some job, mate.
Did they have like a big mural down the front of it? Because I mind when I went to uni in Edinburgh, I'd walked past it as well. And they
Did
had
you
a
go
big,
to Edinburgh Uni?
aye, I dropped
Never
out.
mentioned that, mate.
But they had a big, huge Red Dead Redemption thing.
Aye, it's
over
not
the
there
front
now. No, it's not there now. They've just got the Rockstar sign on it now. What did you study?
It was law and Spanish for 2
Aye.
years. Aye,
What a combo.
aye, hated it.
Hated law.
Hated law. Aye.
If I could start again,
You
I
do
would
law?
do law.
Is that
100%.
so you had the information to protect yourself from the law?
Maybe, but also like every time I've been to court, if it wasn't me, I'd be like, this is the most interesting thing that I've ever seen. I love it, eh? I remember once, so I was on trial for something in Edinburgh Sheriff Court and they went, there's a guy coming up for sentencing. They're just going to see him first and then we're going to get to you. And I was like, all right. And so they were like, take a seat and they bother. So they bring this boy up for custody. Big fucking massive Moroccan dude, eh? Like curly hair as fuck. He was big. So they'd got him for like stealing a woman's handbag and he'd grabbed a perfume display at Harvey Nicks and tried to run out the door and the security guards had just locked it for the inside and caught him. So I mind thinking like, it's fucking know that. And like the sheriff's read everything out, and the sheriff, she's just like, just this handbag you stole. Just the inconvenience you must have caused to that woman is it's ridiculous. I mean, there's just no choice but to give you 12 months in custody. And he was like, what the fuck? Like just jumped up like, what the fuck? 12 fucking months. And they've had to like grab him and ragdoll him doing it. I mind sitting there being like, man, I'm fucking next. Like, what are they going to do to me? And I was like, I've actually done something bad. And I might just be like, oh no. Anyway, it worked out all right. But I have always found law mega interesting. If I could start again, I can't. But
there was some stuff that I did really enjoy, but there was other bits that were just fucking really dry, like properly lossy, because I was only in my first 2 years and I had to do a bit of everything. Really, like
7 years, 5, sorry, and then 2 under the Scottish Law Society, where they set your wages. Kind of get paid more than.
There was so much. There was just fucking.
Heavy.
A
lot of working from home as well, if you're a lawyer. But I wouldn't mind a job at the old Rockstar Games, like just playing Grand Theft Auto all day. But
a new one coming.
Aye, but that's what they were saying. Sorry. Aye, this year. They were saying people aren't really like buying new games; they're just spending their money in games that they've already got now.
That's why Rockstar weren't fast interested in making a new
Grand
Theft Auto, because everybody's still playing the old Grand Theft Auto. When was that out?
Oh, fucking years ago.
Like
2013, I think, off the top of my head. Maybe even 2011, and then 2013 they brought it back out again for PS4 because that had just came out.
I was playing San Andreas the other day, mate. CJ for Grove Street. It was quality. Hey. Oh, so good, mate.
This new one, it's projected to make $3 billion. Like, just in sales.
Wow.
I don't know what like GTA 5's made, because it's what you're saying, like GTA Online, people still play it, and it's like over 10 years old now. So I don't even think that 3 billion will include like after. Like, I think that's just sales of the game.
But then have you seen the prices of games as well? Games used to be like 50 quid, absolute maximum. Now they're like 100 and odd quid.
So, but Microsoft, I do this with my son, so you just pay the subscription every month. I've got one for PlayStation, one for Microsoft, and they give you the games. It's mental.
I don't imagine it's going to be the new games.
Aye, they're not going. Well, so
pay for them.
Call of Duty came out there, and was it October or November?
65 was it?
No, I got it for nothing. Well, no, nothing, because I pay the subscription, but because I said to my son, I was like, oh, do you want that game? Thinking I'll tuck that away for Christmas. He's like, I've already got it. I was like, what? And it kind
That's what I
of
done when I got the PlayStation at Christmas time.
it kind of takes that away for you a wee bit though. Like, because before you'd have bought him that, stuck it away, and it would have been like, I got that. But it's, I don't know.
Have you, I don't even know if your son will be maybe too young, but have you ever went to like a midnight release for a game?
So I used to work at these, believe it or
Oh,
not.
I did. Back in the day, I used to go for FIFA.
Mate, we used to get put on it. They would, so like game doing it, what's it called? Fucking shitty minging bitty leaf. There's a game, like a game shop. Oh, that'll come back. Fucking horrible Lidl and that there as well. And they would ask for doormen to work there because cunts were just like bombing in, try to grab the stuff and run out. Mental. But I remember doing that. You would have to be there at like 11:30 at night, 12 o'clock, start letting people in, only like 2 in the shop at a time. They're getting their game, they're getting their like whatever special purchase you get for coming out at this time of night. And it was a fucking huge deal. It was a mega thing.
I remember
Kids
it
still
with Harry
swap
Potter.
games? Maybe you used to swap a game with your mate?
No, because you need the same game to play the guy. But I remember swapping games because
Swap
it's all
games,
online,
aye.
remember?
Aye.
I remember it was the Half-Blood Prince. No, it was the last, what's the last book of Harry Potter?
Deathly Hallows.
Definitely
Hallows.
Hallows.
And I remember that coming out and everybody going apeshit for it and pre-ordering it and queuing up at midnight to fucking read this book. Wild.
I remember having to do a shift at the pictures for The Hobbit coming out.
Aye.
Because they were like, it's going to be fucking mental. And I was like, The Hobbit? What the fuck is a Hobbit? Because like at the time I hadn't read the books. And I had read like some at high school, but I just never put it all together. You know what I mean? And then it's like, people are not going to be into that as a film. And then obviously fucking mega, If I'm into it as a film. But I don't know, people don't just seem to get as excited about. It's even the same with the UFC, like, John Jones is finally going to fight Aspinall. I knew he would. No, you never, mate. We were fucking speculating.
I remember being excited for watching Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's fighting insert name and people were excited about it.
My dad was talking about this. He was like, see when Mike Tyson had a fight coming up, it was fucking everywhere.
Aye.
everywhere. He's like, you couldn't put on the telly and there'd be Mike Tyson fucking hitting the bag, hitting pads. Now he's like
on the news,
on the actual news, on the like the normal news, Sky Sports News, fucking, and he's like, you were sort of like adverts for the box office, mind and buy the box office tonight. Like,
here, I've got something that came back to me yesterday, and I was like, do you remember being in Glasgow? And you'll not remember this, Craig, but I'm selling papers, like just a wee guy standing with like a wee stall, like just a wee box, and he would sell papers.
Nah. Is that a thing? Aye.
I very vaguely have images of that on like Argyle Street outside M&S.
Aye, the guy would just stand there and he would sell papers. Wee flat cap, and he'd be like it was like Evening Times or whatever it was. Evening Times, and you go up and get your paper. You would walk up to this guy who didn't have a shop. All he did was
stood.
You gave him a quid and he would give you a paper.
When did you last buy a paper?
I can't remember.
Aye, never.
It's been a while.
I had a litter of pups and I needed fucking newspapers down on the ground for them. Went to the shop and bought like fucking 30 newspapers. That was a couple of years ago, but never since. I've never bought a newspaper and read it.
You could have saved yourself some money and just bought like 2 Heralds.
I know.
They big bastards. Like,
other one, I had that job at the rail yard where I was pretending to be there. I would buy a couple of papers a week and then just like scatter them about so that they thought I'd can be coming in during the week.
This guy loves his papers.
Aye, this guy just in here, he's working hard, he's reading the paper, he's left a couple of papers for the lads. Good
coffee cup shoes. Did you ever be a Rangers newsman?
I can't remember.
You read the Digger, mate, eh? You read the Digger?
I used to enjoy a wee Digger, aye. You've been in the Digger, mate?
Such a bag of shit. A made up thing, eh?
I was actually thinking about that when you were talking about like newspapers that are dying, hanging there.
Good.
Like football programmes are on digital and that now as well.
But
are they really?
No, but you can buy physical ones, but
even with your phone,
do digital.
They've got newsstand, hasn't they? On Apple.
Aye.
So you can actually just go and get all the magazines.
I do still get a magazine delivered.
What magazine is it?
It's
We Are the People.
No, mate, it's an NFL one. NFL one.
An NFL magazine? How hard's that to get?
It's UK based.
Is it?
Aye. It's getting big here now, eh?
That is since we started it in Wembley.
Aye. Tottenham do it now as well, I think.
Playoffs this Saturday, guys.
What does that mean?
My team's in the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl.
Who are they?
February, isn't it?
Chargers.
Where do they play?
LA.
Aye.
From San Diego. They moved to LA.
It's weird that they just move teams about.
Aye.
I know.
So like, it's not even close.
No, I know. Can you imagine Rangers or Celtic moving to England or even Edinburgh? Imagine Hibs and Hearts moving to Glasgow. It just wouldn't happen here.
The one that gets me is how Las Vegas have just taken 2 of the Oakland's teams. They've went, you'll take Oakland Raiders and we'll also take your Oakland A's. So they've taken 2 of their teams.
So what you meant to go and watch for sport now in fucking Oakland?
You don't, you just go and stab folk.
Have you seen any of the videos of Oakland? Because is it no fucking Kamala Harris's, that's where she comes from.
Is it?
And they were like going like, this is Kamala Harris's Oakland, and it's just like all the same ones you see for like San Francisco and that, all the junkies fucking doubled over and big long lines of pure tent cities and stuff like that. It's brutal.
I'd seen something about
hard to believe, mate.
It was big Barry Obama. I seen something about that again.
Barry
Obama.
You would call him Barry, eh? See if Barack Obama was your mate, you'd 100% be like Baz.
It was him and his wife.
Big Mike. You see, mate, you're laughing because you know it's true.
I'd never seen this until Ross had pointed out, and I was like,
masculine looking.
Big Mike.
This guy's right.
Big Mike. Some
Dirty
people
Mike
like it. Dirty Mike and the boys. Do you think it's true, mate? You didn't?
Have you got, go and see.
She's all women.
Images.
She all woman.
It was the one I'd seen where it was like, she's got like, she must have acne or something like that.
Happy birthday to my favourite guy. I don't know. It's fucking
Man.
what's his name?
This one. This is the middle one.
Aye, with his short hair.
That's what I'd seen.
That's when they're at uni, eh?
Go down. Go along, sorry. Go back to that one. That's obviously being doctored.
I mean,
that's hilarious. Look at that slick
if
back.
that's legit, mate.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Did they both do law? I think they both did law. Big Mike looks like a lawyer. If he came in, you're probably going to get, you'd be like, I get away with it. You would call him Barry, mate.
Did I tell you?
I didn't call him Barry's
I told
racist.
you when I was in Africa about them, they disliked Barack Obama.
How come?
I thought it would be like, when I went to Africa, he had just been became the president for the first time. So I thought everybody had been like, Barack Obama, let's go. And there was a wee boy called Barack, and I was like, oh, named after the president. And he was like, yeah, it must have been about 5 or something like that, maybe even less. And the woman who was running the school was like, yeah, he's been kind of cast out because they don't like Barack anymore. And I was like, why? And they were like, because he's down with gay marriages. And I was like, fair enough.
Not popular over there.
Certainly not.
It's not cool. Culture, bro.
So we Barack was, nobody liked him.
Wee Barack was a gay lord.
Nobody liked him. Just a wee win. And
Fuck off, Barack.
He's actually shunned by the community.
Were you just on holiday in Africa?
No, I was doing some missionary work. Remember, that's where the jobby came from, the jobby story.
I can remember that.
Can't go dengue fever and everything. Where you been, mate?
I've had dengue fever.
Aye.
It's no cool, is it?
This man.
What's a lot of good men at it?
No, I told the story where I was like, they had this shitting in a hole.
Aye.
You don't remember this?
I remember that.
Oh, mate, tell it again, mate.
When was this, Craig? You remember this?
So I've got an African mate. He messaged me about it. He's like, that's 100% true, by the way. Long drop toilet or something they call it, eh?
So they had these toilets, right? And it was just basically this was pretty well kitted out area. So I flew, so I flew through into a place called Entebbe, which was where Raid Entebbe, where the Idi Amin held the fucking plane. So that was Entebbe was the airport he flew into. We drove to a place called Kampala, which is a capital, and then for Kampala we drove 3 hours into the middle of nowhere. I'm talking proper rural.
Are they down with the honkies, or they didn't like us, or?
They call us Mazunga.
Been called worse.
Mazunga. So anyway, we're in this sort of wee village, and we were doing so I'd taken over 5 or 6 kids, 5 kids, great kids, really, really nice kids. And we helped build a kitchen, helped build a water tower, helped build a few different things to help the area.
Is this when you're a teacher?
Aye.
Just what you were just taking random
Just taking-
you're like that.
Just went, do you know what we'll do today? Aye.
Fancy going to Africa? So there was a organisation out there called the 𝗣𝗢𝗗𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 Memorial Fund, right? And it was through them we came out. Guy was came from a really rich family, ended up drinking and driving, crashing, killing himself. So his family started up this memorial fund out in Africa, and that's how we ended up there. So when I got there was no toilets. So the very first night I got there, right, I was hanging at some flight to Africa, man. It was fucking shit. And then you're then driving a couple hours to Kampala, and then a few more hours into the middle of nowhere. So I was totally drained. I had nothing left. So the head of the community and the school comes out and talks to us, and they like holding hands. So everybody so I've got to walk with him holding hands, and the two of us walk into the school, and we're having our meal, and they let us all eat. And it was me and there was us round the table, and there was the head of the community. We're eating, and I didn't eat a lot because it was.
Shite.
Aye, wasn't it? Was. They gave us so much food.
Aye.
And then the guy then says something in whatever they speak in Ugandan, and honestly, there must have been about 30.
I think it's Portuguese.
I'm not sure what it was they spoke, but there must have been about 30 folk all round about the outside of the table, and I couldn't see them because it was so dark, no use to the darkness. And the other came, man, and just started took everything and just disappeared into the darkness. I was like, I had no idea there was people running about me. So anyway, it came to the toilet situation, and they took us and they showed us the toilets, and it was just 4 wee cubicles, right? So imagine a portaloo with the door on it and made of concrete with shit all smeared out there was. So I was like, nah. And I had a ATV, so I could go up and down to the local area. And I was like, I'm going to get a toilet when I go down there. Must be a better toilet. So I was like, I'd take
shit outside, to be totally honest.
So I'd taken a modem to try and bag myself up, and it came to the point where I was like, I need to shit. So I got my wee toilet roll, my wet wipes, and I go way down here, and you have to squat, proper, sit in your honkers. There's no toilet seat or nothing, it's just a big hole, and it just drops in. So as I do my shit, right, and I release this absolute fucking cannon from my ass, right, it's just a few seconds. And then all of a sudden, it was something for a horror film, flies everywhere. like all over my face and everything. I'm like,
Actual shit flies.
try to get them off, but they're everywhere because I disturbed them. And they were like crawling over my balls and everything. They were crawling over my asshole, man. I was like, right, so I don't know will the camera be able to see me the way I'm standing. If I sit,
We'll make it. We'll make it.
it's like, so that's how you have to shit, right?
Good job. You're a flexible guy.
I know. So like, obviously you've not got your trousers are ruin your ankles. But at this point, there's flies everywhere. Like Nicolas Cage with the wasps all over his face. That's exactly what it was like. It was fucking horrible. Never shat again in that toilet. I just used to drive up and down to this wee local shitter, and
I don't blame you.
like it was fucking disgusting.
And then
man.
you got on well. Surely no.
Do you know what they used to do? They used to just
Set it on
light
fire.
it, set it on fire. Like, so they would just set the whole fucking shit pile on fire. So I'm talking like, this, like, see the drop to where it hit, it was like, the shit come out, and then it would be like, it was a fair distance, and then they would just set it on fire, just shit blowing everywhere, and it's like, well, that's fucking rancid.
That's fucked up.
Aye. And
What
they
was
were
the food like? What was he eating?
we ate some sort of
You
meat.
never seen Africans, bro. It's
I ate
not
some-
nutritious.
I ate some sort of meat. I remember saying to like the kids, and I was like, have you seen any animals? I've not seen a cow. You don't have any fridges?
I saw what you.
I'm like, what am I eating? And I asked him, I was like, what is this? And he's like, meat. I'm like,
Oh,
yep,
aye.
I know it's meat. What kind of meat?
She still don't know.
The idea.
Probably
So
better no.
I'd taken over like football strips and like some warm clothes. And I remember getting like somebody a scarf. And they had wore it as like, they wrapped it around their head like it was fucking brilliant. And like, it was pure tight. She made it into like a proper outfit with this scarf. I remember getting a wee boy like an area tap as well in his face. All the wee boys were getting like Arsenal, Rangers, give wee boy a tap in his face. Is like,
What have I done to annoy you, Mr. Craig?
but I remember playing football with them. They obviously don't have shoes, and one of them kicked me in the shin with their feet. They're fucking solid. Like they never had shoes. They just
I couldn't imagine going about in bare feet all the time, mate. It's fucking mental.
You don't know any better though.
I told you.
No.
I told you that they used to sweep the whole school. The whole school.
Aye.
They would sweep the whole place. There was no paths. It was just all dust. They would sweep the whole school and they would go and do school. This was at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Stop your fucking sweeping. I'm trying to sleep. Horrible,
barely
man.
does
But
to
I
sweep the
ended up
place out.
getting dengue fever when we paddled down the River Nile and get attacked by mosquitoes. Can we swim in this water? No, there's hippos. Sorry, Pit.
Aye,
You're
kill
letting us
cunts.
fucking just jump about in this water in paddle boats? Crazy,
Well,
man.
did the dengue last? I was done for like a week.
Aye.
Before it started
I had to
clearing.
go into the infectious diseases unit in Monklands because they didn't know what it was I had because it's a waterborne, but it's more in Thailand. Did you get it in
I
Thailand?
got it in Bali.
Aye, so it's
It might have been for Thailand because we got the boat, like we got boats and stuff.
that's why they couldn't work out. They were like, you should have malaria
Mm-hmm.
because that would be the equivalent. And they're like, have you been doing big bodies of water? And I was like, just the Nile. And they were like, it's dengue fever, but we don't know how you've got it.
They kind of do anything for it. They just gave
Nah.
us paracetamol, I think, because I think like ibuprofen. that can
Body
make- it
was
can
in
make your-
pain, wasn't
It
it?
can make your gums bleed. 'Cause it
Did
didn't
you
get
say ibuprofen?
ibuprofen? Some people say ibuprofen. My mum says ibuprofen. That's
My
how they say
missus
it,
does as well. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
but they call it the bone crushing disease because you feel as if your body's in a vice.
Aye, it was.
Aye?
Haley got it first, and we were on the boat on the way out.
You're laughing. You're like, ha ha
I'm
ha.
like, oh, can we fuck? It's not like, what's wrong with you? You've got the cold or something like that. You're just, next day, I was just like, oh, you were right, man.
Did you have to use mosquito nets and that?
Aye.
So we had to
And we
sleep
got a lot
mosquito
of
nets.
jags
Aye.
and stuff before we went.
Aye. Yellow fever.
I
I remember that one being really sore.
remember taking a tablet like every day. I can't remember. I think
That's
that might have been
malaria.
for
That's malaria. Aye.
Yeah.
Malaria, or some Malarian or some shit like that.
It's like it's the Mekong River, like one bit of that goes in your mouth, you're pretty much going to be fucking ill.
Aye.
It's just shit and everything, it just...
Just
Maybe
minging.
maybe we'll do a wee bike ride in Africa.
I don't know. Southern.
Folk are fucking dying in the station now with that alcohol.
They're doing what?
2 lasses died, didn't they, in Thailand?
For what?
They drinking, it was like, I don't know if Craig can maybe find it, but it was like methanol or something they had in the drink.
That sounds dumb.
The Well, they didn't know they were drinking it, obviously, but they're passing it off as alcohol.
Methanol.
Excuse me.
Fifth.
Tourist.
Tainted drinks in
Laos.
Laos.
Oh, it's Laos, it's no Thailand.
They have a fair bit of fucking about in these places, don't they?
Aye.
That's horrendous.
British lawyer Simone White. That's fucking terrible.
She's
Man.
every bit of Simone White, isn't she?
2 Danish women, 19 and 20. That's brutal.
Right. People like can constantly complain about, I fucking hate staying in Britain. You're kind of looked after. You're not fucking about with malaria all the time, or you're not dealing with dengue fever. You're not getting your alcohol's no laced with other shit.
So it's ethanol, no methanol, whatever I said.
I think they're fairly similar. All at the same horse, though.
No, you're right. That says ethanol's not toxic. Methanol is toxic. So there was bootleg liquor with methanol in it because it's a cheap way to increase alcohol content.
So
Fucking
places have just
hell.
taught me up. Wow.
At least 57 people died in India. It's mad how, like, when you go, fucking hell, 5 British people have died, or 5, like, European tourists. And then, 57 Indians, and everybody's like, yeah.
Nobody's scared.
And 4,000 of them died in a mudslide or something. And everybody's just like, oh, that's sad.
Well, you're not going to go to India for your holiday?
I'm not going to go to India.
Doing the
Matt.
whole tourist push with regards to the McGregor fight, McGregor and Paul fight.
Is this still a thing? Has this
Well,
gone away yet?
Dana White's, like, the UFC are hugely involved in it.
Are they?
Aye, and they're going to be getting
They're
a
wanting a
pushback as
slice.
well. They're getting a pushback.
Where are they having it? Is this...
It's in India?
what city?
No, sure.
Mumbai.
I fucking don't know.
What is the capital, Mumbai? Or is it?
Is it?
I don't imagine you're going to like fly into India and then kind of cut about the streets.
No. I watched this boy on TikTok who travels round
New
everywhere.
Delhi.
And he's like walking about a big city and there's cows and that walking up the street and it's just shit everywhere, eh? Like actual shit. Like no, just like it's
Same
messy.
again, like we just take for granted that
Aye.
the streets are clean. That the streets, we're complaining that there's like a wee bit of ice in the road.
I know.
They're like, they've got piles of shit in the road.
Aye, fucking cows.
I was thinking about this today actually when I was like writing up some notes like just about the wildfires in America. Like,
Saw them, man. Eh, mental.
like so many places in America just constantly have the threat of a fucking natural disaster hanging over them.
Such
and we
hu-
get a wee bit of snow and
Aye.
we fucking shut
People
down.
are like,
Aye.
I can't go to school today.
Huge continent though, eh? That's the thing.
But it's because they're building on parts of land that were not predominantly used for staying on.
Aye.
So now it's like, we're getting bigger, so we'll just fucking put you in here. I don't know.
There's a great, is it called Fire Chasers or something like that on Netflix about the firefighters in California going out and fucking try to put these out. And there's one where they get trapped. The firefighters are fucking trapped, mate. The fire's like gone past them and they're like, fuck. And they start trying to jump in the motor and drive past it and they have to drive through the flames. That's mental. And there's one bit where everybody basically tries to leave this town and all the cars block the roads so everyone gets stuck. Firefighters come down. Aye, the fire comes. The firefighters come down and they're like, right, this is absolute fucking last chance saloon. They're like, everyone has to grab one of these blankets, lie on the ground and cover as much of your body with it as you can. And the fire goes fucking over them, mate. People are like grabbing their kids, so they're like holding their kids and put the fucking blankets through them. And they're like, you can hear it. See when it comes out, oh mate, it was fuck. See, watch that. I was like, they're fucking, I'm gonna die. I've never been
There's a
so.
great film about it called Only the Brave with Josh Brolin, with the firefighters.
Aye.
And they dig pits and put the sheet over them like you just explained there.
They dig pits to stop it, don't they?
Aye, but they also
they
like,
dig tree,
in an emergency situation, they'll dig a bit
just
for them to
jump
go
in.
in and put the fire blanket over them.
So your man who's going to carry the boats,
Goggins.
he
does it, eh? Para jumps in.
He
and-
para jumps in. I don't know what they call it. What do they call them? They call them something.
Oh, I'm not sure.
There's a name for them. It's like angels or something.
Aye, so they para drop in at a very low level.
That's mental.
Jumpers or some shit like this.
Smoke jumper.
jumpers.
What a name. What's your dad do for a job?
My dad's a smoke jumper.
Smoke jumper.
And he was worried because his knees are totally shot. What a guy. What a guy.
You read the books? The Goggins books?
Aye.
Sad, eh?
Aye. Like he's had a shitty life.
Aye.
Prudence.
Probably would have just shot myself if I was him. Quite bad.
Well, that's why he chose not to shoot himself and walk his ass off.
Aye.
Be like the greatest man ever.
Torture himself with this stuff instead.
Aye. I guess it's either that or crack cocaine in it.
Aye.
You find your vice.
Both all right.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Going to the gym is all right.
Why?
Smoking that crack is also, it's not the worst.
Oh, you want to do some MMA? Are we fucking done for this podcast? Are we going to actually...
I don't know, is it?
The UFC is back.
What time is it?
Pull up the card for you.
20 past
No, I mean,
4.
what time we got in the...
We're at an hour and 10, but we can very, very quickly run through a couple of fights because I don't know that many notable ones.
UFC is back.
UFC Apex card this weekend. We have everybody's favourite Mackenzie Dern, who's coming off a victory, isn't she? She won her last fight.
Yep.
She's back training, striking.
I didn't know Ponzinibbio was back fighting as well. Sorry to jump in there.
No, that's a cool card as well. Chris Curtis, another cracking fight.
Aye, there's
Kopolov's good.
there's no that many stakes attached to this card.
Aye.
Well, this is the last time. Is her name Ribas?
Hebas.
Hebas, because it's hard age. Hebas. She beat her the last time, didn't she?
Yes, so they fought in 2019 and it was Mackenzie Dern's first professional loss.
So it's just bragging rights. How do you think getting into a fight knowing somebody's already beat you? Because they've got the upper hand, haven't they? Aye?
I would say so. Especially if they beat you convincingly. I think about this all the time because I'd love to fight two cunts again who beat me, and then one of them I'm like, do I want to fight that cunt? You can fucking fight a bit. But the other
I would like to fight the guys that have already beat me.
oh, me too. Aye.
Apart from Cleo Roundtree. Fuck that shit. That guy's angry, man. That guy's got some demons. It's like he's taking out on me. Like, I didn't do anything to you. We're just fighting, mate, and you're like making it as if I'm fucking stole for you.
Is Khalil Roundtree the black guy version of Drew Dober? Racially motivated Khalil. It's just a next level Khalil. If Khalil Roundtree fighting a white guy, he's just taking his life.
I'm like, I didn't say that word. But did I say that word?
You're actually the least racist
Aye,
guy I
and
know.
he's
which is mad.
saying- what was it? Was it Anthony Smith was saying? You're trying to hurt my family? Or he's...
Aye, Johnny Walker.
Aye, and he's like, what?
Aye, Khalil's some boy. Like, he's mad because sometimes I'm like, I want to see Khalil do well, and then I'm just like, this guy's just bonkers, eh? Like, what's up with? He's like 2 fights away from being Tony Ferguson. This cunt. You know what I mean? Fucking hell.
I just love his body kicks to grounded opponents.
Aye.
Nobody else uses them.
Aye.
But if somebody's lying on the ground, he'll just fucking
Aye.
take a swing at them.
Have you ever seen him
Well within the
use
rules.
the teep to smash somebody's leg like the way he did to...
Modestus,
Modestus.
Bukowskis.
Like, I've seen them used. I've not
Aye.
seen him with that much vengeance.
Vicious, eh?
Like, I need to snap his leg.
I'm sure he did a similar thing to that Eric Anders,
Was
eh?
that those like wee like oblique
Oblique
kicks
kicks,
above the
aye.
knee? Aye.
He smashed Eric Anders' legs up bad as well. Like, guy can kick a bit for sure.
I loved when he came back from Thailand.
Aye.
He was doing no bounce.
But that's if,
I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
that's if like American striking, you didn't really see that. That's more of a Europe. Like if Darren Till did that, you'd be like, aye, probably went to Thailand for a bit, aye. But when you see an American doing it, you're a bit like, well, they didn't normally do that.
Dantel's looking in good shape. Have you seen the pictures of him?
So is he still going to be having?
He's fighting some boxer,
Anthony Taylor,
Who's he?
a boxer.
a guy.
Aye.
Did you know Crash's interview with Howani?
Anthony Taylor did.
No, Till did.
So he's that type of guy. Yeah.
I've not actually seen it. I've only just seen the headline.
Hey, Baldy.
On YouTube.
Pretty boy. Well, I suppose.
He's fought Tommy Fury.
In a boxing match.
See the video of Tommy Fury winning that 10k or like Danny's 10k? It's fucking hilarious, man.
What is it?
He ran a
He's
10K.
like just bombing past people that there's other folk just like enjoying their 10k.
Having a fun run.
But no, it was right at the very, very, very end. Like it was like the last 100 meters or anything or something, and these people have like got to the end of their 10k, and then just out in the way he fucking sprints up all past them, just to be a dick.
Do you think he knows he's doing it, or do you think he's just a bit disabled? Aye. Probably.
He's a bit.
Probably.
Aye.
Bit gypsy. I don't think he's disabled. I think it's just
On the
gypsy.
subject to a tie as well. What about Nico Carrillo? That must be soon.
26th, I want to say. Am I right? I might be. I'm rarely wrong.
So that's the guy damn Tell's fight. Back to that card because we need to go on into our Patreon.
Aye.
And we're going to be here all night.
I know.
So do you think Mackenzie Dern gets the victory?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to take Dern via submission in this one.
I think this is going to be a good striking match.
I think 2019 in a unanimous decision's a long time ago.
I think Dern's boxing has came on so much better. And I think they're going to respect each other's grappling. So I'm going to go for Dern via strikes.
Some sort of TKO. I like it. I think
She's going to go on the mic and say, "Come to me, pal. Come to me. I'm in Vegas waiting." And I'll be like, "I'm fucking coming. I'm not leaving." So I do get trolled for this quite a lot. My Instagram.
I think you've brought it up on yourself.
I know. It's something that's massively backfired.
yeah.
Like,
it's not much of a secret.
I get it all the time on Instagram, and then when I go to Twitter, and there's just like, did you see the Christmas pictures of the two years?
The thing is, when she was in fucking the PI, it was just like, hello. Just everybody carries on with their day. There was like, no. Except Greg, who I found that photo.
Did you get a picture?
I got a photo.
It's on my phone.
Fucking right.
It's in my fucking phone.
Smelled great.
She has unsuitable leggings on in that photograph.
Absolutely
Is
suitable.
she?
I'll send you it now.
Send it on our off screen.
Aye.
Now super.
Hope you've cropped the photo when you're doing that.
Why?
So I'm not in it.
No, you're
Sure,
in
I'm
it.
looking at it.
You've got your arm round her, you maniac.
Right.
I think you might have that tracky top on even.
See your man.
Pawns.
No, I'm talking about Cop You Love. Who he?
So when he came into the UFC, everyone thought he was going to be the next big thing.
Right.
Then he lost. He got finished by Anthony Hernandez, who's actually fighting Brendan Allen in February.
I've seen this.
But his hype train has kind of been derailed a bit.
Can you pull up the actual fight card to see pictures of these people if I could recognise them? Oh, I recognise you, baby. Oh, I do recognise him.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of like Roman Russian chase hooper about him.
Aye. Mad wig on him, eh?
Aye.
This Chris Curtis is a unit, by the way.
He just likes to fight.
Aye.
That's quite a tough fight if you're not doing too great in the division to go up against Chris Curtis, who's very talented.
I think Kopylov after the
Is he on a bit of a tear now?
I think it's just he's won one fight, and then Chris Curtis is coming off a loss.
Aye, but Chris Curtis has fought a lot of big names.
Aye. He fought Sean Strickland, did he not? Brendan Allen.
Nah, he's like best
He
pals
trained
with Sean
with
Strickland.
Sean
aye.
Strickland, that's what it is.
I don't know if they still do, but they had a podcast together.
He's got like a weird body. I'm trying to work out like
Big thick ass shoulders, but
Have
how
you
much?
seen? There's a picture of Chris Curtis, Aljamain Sterling, and Curtis Blades, like all in the PI or something together, and it's like the three evolutions of Pokemon. Like one of them put up a camera and that.
that's brilliant.
Curtis Blades is a Charizard.
I thought you were thinking like match up or something like that. The guys.
I actually do think that's what they said. Like that's what they put up in the image. It was the three of them.
Match up. Match up. Match up.
And I had the biggest voice. Brilliant. Get that money.
Action Man. Great name.
Pons.
Aye, Ponzinibbio.
Who's he fine?
Mad Eye Poker, eh?
Mad Eye Poker.
Aye, he is like. Pokes every cunt in the eye. Dude's for Guyana.
Knowing about Harris. It's one of these cards where, like, and it doesn't matter who was on it, we would all be excited to watch it because it's the first card of the year and we're just like, give me all your shit. And I'm not saying these guys are shit, what I'm saying is we will take anything right now because we just want to watch some fights. Do you know any other people in this card? Go back down one. Who are these females?
That dog barks non-stop, man.
Do you hear it on the podcast? No. Do you know these girls? No.
Nah.
Dude,
She looks Russian, though.
Name Duda Kova.
Dudakova.
Dudakova. You sound better.
I would.
Aye, so fights the weekend. We'll have something to talk about next week.
Aye.
They did announce a wee bit of a better card. They're going back to Seattle in February, and they've basically put the full card out. Not in order, but the headline is Henry Cejudo and Sonny
Cejudo,
Dong,
aye.
and Rob Font and Dominic Cruz as the co-main.
Edson, by the way. Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
That's quite surprising.
When's this? February.
February.
So it's still a fair bit away.
Mate, Rob Font might fucking pagger him, by the way.
There's they're not releasing a lot of cards. Like-
No, I've noticed that,
Like,
actually.
There's not been a lot of like looking forward to
Oh, there's
the
that
rest of the year.
Modestus Bukowskis on it.
Mhm.
Right on the very bottom. I didn't even know he was
Brendan
back.
Allen. Guys,
Aye.
we are going to jump over to the Patreon.
Aye.
We've just spoke too much shit about non-MMA stuff.
Randomness,
If you're
eh?
looking for an MMA podcast, we are not your fucking saviours.
Go and watch Ariel Helwani.
Aye. Guys, we'll catch you on the Patreon, and as always, keep it high.